You know, a lot of people out there say that you need to work hard. You need to drop everything and just work and work and work to get anything done, to be successful in life. I personally think it's a load of rubbish. But at the same time, kind of true. All right, so yes, there is some reality, some truth behind that. Yes, you do need to work. You need to the more you put into something, the better it's going to be. But something a lot of people won't say or don't say is there needs to be a balance depending on who you are, what kind of person you are, and what your objectives are. If you are the type of person to care about your career and only your career, you want to be, let's take the obvious example here, a content creator. You want to be a content creator in a year's time. You're going to have to put a lot of hours. You're going to have to be putting 40 plus hours a week into that job to make that goal realistically. Because it's a difficult field. And the crazy thing is it's a field that, just like many entertainment fields, whether it's art or acting or music or content creation, any of that, you are not guaranteed that. Even if you put all of your hours, you do 80 hours every single week, you may not be successful. Not in a year's time, maybe not ever. It's possible you just aren't cut out for it. Now, I don't want to discourage you. You should try, you should work hard, and if you are actually truly putting in that effort, you will gain something out of it. But at the same time, if you are working 80 hours a week, you are streaming, you are on Twitter, you are on YouTube, you're doing everything all the time, well, what else are you doing? Are you out there enjoying your life? Are you going for walks? Are you spending time with your animals? Are you spending time with your family? Are you making relationships outside of streaming, outside of YouTube? And that's something I think a lot of people forget to do. It's something that I personally find satisfying, is to balance my life. But at the same time, so very frustrating. Because I want to be a successful content creator, which means I want to put more hours into that. But at the same time, I also have bills to pay. I have a wife that I adore spending time with. I have kids that need things done. I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and a bunch of fish, all of which need to be taken care of. I mean, they are only going to live if I take care of them. And obviously myself, the wife, so on. But there is a responsibility there. And then beyond that, I mean, I have family back in the States. I have friends here I want to spend time with. I have a job I have to do to make sure I keep that job. There's always going to be things that get in the way. There will always be excuses not to work on it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop it. It might get in the way. But that's the thing, is it only happens if I let it. People make excuses. And excuses aren't always bad. It's just they are excuses. You have to think about what is the right balance for you. If you are spending 80 hours a week on content creation, I hate to say it, but you're probably doing it wrong. Because eventually you will burn out. I have never known a single content creator who could do 80 hours every single week without any time to relax, to re-energize, to be successful for forever. Yes, you should always be thinking ahead. You should always be planning, and you should do as much as you can. But I've seen person after person after person talk about the grind, talk about, oh, well, you have to work and work and work. And yes, it's true, but so many of those people eventually 2-3 months down the line, sometimes longer, sometimes less, they put out that tweet. They put out that video saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I'm not in the right headspace. My mental space is getting drained, and I need to take a break." And then so many of them take that break, and then see their numbers drop, and that just makes things even worse because they come back trying to push into it, but then they haven't actually taken the time to rest, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And yeah, it's a cyclical thing that will cause you to hurt yourself. Maybe not physically, but definitely mentally. And for anyone out there who is a content creator, I mean, look at me. I'm not huge. I'm not some guy who has millions of followers, millions of subscribers, anything like that. I don't know what it's like to be at the top of the game. I know what it's like to be at a level of viewership on Twitch, specifically, that I could potentially make a living off of it. I've been there once. I feel like I could get there again. But only through careful thought and planning, and through taking care of myself and those around me. I couldn't do this job if it wasn't for my wife. Without her support, I'd be nothing. I couldn't afford this. And if I was working full-time, doing another job, I'm not sure I'd have the energy to do this. So, yeah. That's basically what it comes down. Remember, there's a balance to everything, a balance to life. What is it that you want? Do you want to be super successful? Great. That's awesome. All right. Now what do you need to do what do you need to do to get there? Do you need to work 80 hours a week? Realistically, do you need to work 80 hours a week? Because I am growing. No, not fast. But I have a steady growth every single week through quite literally 7 hours of stream time every single week. That's it. 7 hours. And I am constantly growing. No, I'm not hitting huge numbers yet, but I've been streaming again. I came back to streaming. I think I'm at 4 months now, maybe 3 months. And I started out with just about right around 1.5 to 2 viewers was my overall average for a month. Now I'm well over 4. So it doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like a huge growth, but it's going faster because that's how it works. The longer you go at it, as long as you make things consistent, as long as you work hard for it, and as long as you are bringing content that people would want to watch, you will grow. So, do you want to be super big and popular now and sacrifice everything else in your life and potentially lose everything because of it? Or do you want to think and work smart, hard and smart, and potentially become huge? I know what I want. Anyway, let me know what you want. I want to hear from you guys. What are your goals? What are your major goals? Work on them. Work towards them. But don't hurt yourself in the process, all right? And as always, make sure you stay happy, stay positive, and I'll talk to you later.